Peace, family. Today, I'll be doing a video called, I might entitle it When an Unstoppable Object Meets an Immovable Force. Yeah, it took a while to get that out. I might look a little bit, the blushy or whatever you call it. I was out in the sun. So this is what happens. My face gets shiny and I put on a little bit of tan, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm still recovering from the flu and I'm here. Let's get started. Now, when an unstoppable object meets an immovable force, I made a little bit of notes right here. And let's start off by it's something like when if you watch the movie Dark Knight, Batman and Joker, right? And Joker was trying to prove a point. Oh, don't mind the beard, guys. I was just being lazy. I didn't feel like going to shave and doing anything today, so I just like got up, went outside, meditated for a little bit, and the sun just came in. So, apologize. I might look a little bit rough, but I'm good, right? I'm good. Don't be so judgmental. Anyway, yeah, Batman and Joker, right? So there was a scene in the Dark Knight when there were two set groups of people on a boat or on a ship out in the water, the river, or whatever, the ocean. I think it's a river. And Joker wanted to prove a point to Batman. One ship was filled with criminals or convicts or people that were incarcerated or whatever. And the other ship was filled with working class people, innocent people, stuff like that. Both ships had detonators on them, bombs. And each ship had a timer that says, okay, at a certain time, one person has to they have to press the button, blow up the other ship, or their ship will be blown up, or both. Something of the sort, right? Hopefully, I'm not butchering the movie. But anyway, Joker wanted to prove that innately the entire world is bad. Given the correct conditions, they will choose not to help or themselves only over the other group, especially when you look at the group on a certain level, you know what I mean, or a certain class or a certain race or a certain, probably people that were locked up and they all bad now because they've been locked up or whatever. And people don't evolve and grow and learn and stuff like that. So people don't have that perception or conception of how people might change. Anyway, the Joker was trying to prove that point to the Batman that people innately are bad people given the proper circumstances. And we all who have watched the movie seen that it didn't go that way. Now, there are people like that in the world. They are. There are people that just feel like, well, we everybody is bad, which is true. Everybody has the potential of doing good and bad. That's a choice. Now, what you choose to do is on you. Now, if you look towards the future, what would you expect of the future? What do you want to see the future? Especially if you have children. Some people have grandchildren. Some people don't have children yet, but planning to. How would you want the world to be? Because what we need to realize sometimes is that even on the other side of the fence, so to speak, the things we do to other people, right? Did you ever think that maybe one day you have a child or children or grandchildren and things like that happen to them? No, we don't look that far ahead because, we sometimes we just self-centered and selfish and just think of self. It's good to think of self in a positive way. It's good for self-love and self-growth. But being selfish and not being perceptive of the future and the greater good of the future is bad. Now, some people don't care. Like, why? Why should I care? My grandchildren or my children, that's their own lives. Well, that's a fucked up mentality. You are a messed up individual for thinking that. We should all want the better for the future. We should all try to steer the world in a positive way as the best we can. I'm not saying that we perfect or anything. We all some people have done things in the past that they're not proud of. Some people, was all out just bad, evil. But things can change. Things at least balance. At least. But balance is also perfect within itself. So if we strive for balance and not total domination of each other, it's a perfect way to go. Give equal give and take, win-win situations, everyone's happy. Not a win-lose, not a domineering, oh, I'm better, or I need to control, and I need to do this, and I need to take this and do that and that without any repercussions or any scales balancing out. The universe is not built that way. The universe is built off balance. That's a universal law. Shh. It's not a secret, but it is. To some people, they can't get that. But anyway, balance must be. And whether we like it or not, it will be. And that's how it should be. Balance, right? The scales have been significantly unbalanced these days. We don't care about the actions we do, a lot of us. We don't care about our actions, but we do care about the repercussion. How is that? How you do not care about what you do, but you care when it comes back to bite you in the ass? Then you want forgiveness and sorry, and then you do the same thing over again. How does that make sense? Right? And I'm not here to make sense. I don't work with the federal mint. That's something you should have. Think about it. Right? But anyway, this video, let's think about an immovable for object. Immovable, cannot be moved. And then heading towards it is an unstoppable object. Ooh, that's hard to think of. That's hard to think. That's a catastrophe that might create another planet. If it's an asteroid or something, hopefully that's not the case. Don't want that to happen. Shit. But anyway, true strength is the ability to know that you have the power to enact and act and do and um to deliver the force within you and others. But if it's not just, if it's not right, if it's not balanced, if it's not good, true strength is the ability to know all these things and do not do it for the greater good. If you understand what I'm saying, it's harder to know that you can go out there and, for example, this is just an example, and you could find a cat and you just beat that cat to death because you have the power to do it. And you can't. It's a cat. However, true strength, that's true strength is the ability to know that I can do it, but not to. The cat wants to live. Cat is a life force. The cat is alive. Cat is happy. The cat is not bothering you, most importantly. So why we have to rationalize this reason? Why would we do that? Out of jealousy, out of hate, out of just trying to be the top dog? Because I'm the top dog, I can just go and beat the cat. I'm the top dog. What's the reason? What's your rationale? Is it justified? Is it balanced? I'm just asking questions here. All right. Just asking questions. I remember a story, right? My grandfather told me, and I love my grandfather. You know, if you watching my video, I know you're probably mad at me because I haven't contacted you. We haven't spoken in years, and you probably think I forgot all the nice, good things that you have done when I, stay with you on the farm. You and grandma on the farm in Jamaica. It's a wonderful farm. I grew up around a lot of animals after my father died. Before I get to that story, that was a major healing point in my life when my father died, because the lifestyle I used to live with my father was totally like almost like flipped upside down when I moved to the country or with my grandparents, right? My father, what really was traumatizing to me at the time, and people was like, don't talk about this. They're going to use that against you. They're going to try and get the anger. I've healed, folks. You're being silly. Stop it. People are still trying to trigger certain things. To me, I'm looking at them like, is that the same poop that I stepped into in a whole lot of city, followed me here, the same poop? Not even the dog. I think the poop is a magician, yo. The poop just magically appears everywhere I go. Why? This poop has a problem. It wants to be stepped on. It wants to see the reaction out of my face when I step on it. Imagine, ain't that some shit? No pun intended, but ain't that some shit? Anyway, getting back to the story. Somebody was like, talk about your life, talk about your past life, talk about this. And some people don't talk about that. They're going to use it. They're going to use it against you. They're going to use it. God damn it. Do not do it. Well, if I'm healed, it won't bother me. And if I'm not healed and they do use it, it's pushing me to heal. Either way, it's a win-win. That's how I look at it. People been attacking certain things, not knowing that I pay attention to what they pay attention to. And if they see something that, especially if it's with me, that they feel like it's not healed, 90% of the times they're wrong, by the way. But maybe that few points, they might catch a lucky break. Oh yes, we got it now. He's not healed from that. Guess what? After it becomes aware to me and I analyze it and I feel it and I absorb it, then I release it. It started the healing process, then becomes healed. Fun fact for those who are always looking for things. Keep looking. And thank you though for my upgrades, because you are the group of people who keep looking at my weaknesses is allowing me to strengthen them, bringing it to my attention in my face. And now I'm looking at it. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe you have a little bit of right or to that, just to that little dot that I need to work on. And guess what? I'll work on it. Then I'll become better. They wondering why, why he's always getting better, why we can't break him. Transmutation, baby, honey, transmutation. Taking a negative situation, alchemizing it to a positive. You're making me stronger. Thank you again. Thank you. But anyway, let's get back to my grandfather, right? Mr. Wong. Mr. Wong, if you're out there, I do appreciate you, by the way. I never gotten the chance before we got disconnected to tell you that I truly love and appreciate a lot of things that you have taught me. You know, I look at you as Since the death of my father, when my father died, by the way, he died in my lap, literally. His head, I was holding his head, and he told me a story. He said, last night I dreamt of women, all white, dressed in all white, but it wasn't just regular white. It was so white that it was bright that he couldn't see their faces. And he could tell that their faces were like blurred. Couldn't see their faces. And he got worried about the dream because they were trying to like hold him to the bed to give him something. I don't know. He just told me that. I was like, what, 11 years old? Imagine that. At the age 11, I witnessed firsthand his last breath taken from him, or he gave it up, however that is. Right? I held his head in my hand, in my lap, in my hand, in my lap, when he took his last breath. And you know what that cheeky bastard tried to do? Pops, my father. He tried to send me to the corner store. So when I come back, I wouldn't see what happened. He tried to, but I said no, because I knew something was wrong. Maybe young, but I'm not dumb. So I sat there and I held his head in my lap, and he talked. He, his voice slowly faded away till he stopped talking. That's something I never spoke about before. How my father died, he was stabbed in his sleep. They came in one night. I don't know who. It was a nice big house. You know, my father had money. Castle. I'd say castle, but it's a house. They came in. I was in another room, sleeping. Stab, stab, stab. In his sleep. He cried out. They ran. I ran to his room. All blood. Back then, we didn't have cell phones. So I had to run across the street, hop the gate, because the gate was locked. It was a tall ass gate too. You know, when you go into those big houses and the house is like all the way bubble, all the way in the back, long ass driveway, and then you have this big ass gate that you got to go through. It was something like that. I climbed that mountain. I climbed that gate. Yeah, I did. I climbed that gate, run across the street, woke up the neighbors at like 2, 3 a.m. Told them the situation. They had a landline. They called the ambulance. He came back out after, they administered to him or whatever, and he was home with me. We spoke. And that was hurtful over these years. And you know what's crazy about that situation? Right? That was something in me that I was mourning, even especially after years pass. And I start to realize, especially looking at other people and see how their family is and stuff like that. And I was comparing myself to the different family dynamics. And I was looking at it and it made me feel sad. And when I became spiritually awoken, I got even more sad, even though I understood what happened and I accepted it and it was okay after, I never, at first, I could never speak about my father and not, especially that memory. I don't talk about specific details, but when I do think about things like that, I always cry, always shed a tear. I had to, was still healing. And then people, after I become spiritually awoken, start to work on myself, self love, start to understand life more, start to treat people way more than I was never a bad person to begin with. But I understand now the importance of treating people well. What you put out is what you get back. What you would want for yourself is what you should project onto others. Right? Now, having done that, I started to go through a mourning process, a healing process with the memories of my father. And I was so young. I was. Then some group of knuckleheads decided to attack me during my grieving period. I was grieving. I was grieving the loss of my father, one. And then because I got spiritually awoke, I started to lose friends. That's natural, though, by the way. You start to lose friends. You don't talk to certain family members because of toxicity. You don't want to be a part of that. And they realize it, so they start to fall off. So I was grieving that also. I was in a relationship, which was, I considered to be true love, real genuine love, had so much in common, shared thoughts, ideas. We were both sapiosexual beings, sapiosexual. And we lost that connection or we got disconnected. And I was mourning that too. I was mourning a lot of things. Some group of people decide, oh, let's attack him. I don't think they knew what I was going through personally. To be honest with you, I don't think they knew at the time. They probably still don't even know up until today. But when they was going putting me through all these rigorous things for almost 2 years, months, homelessness, no food, be running around the city like from city to city, people that have been watching me for a long time, there's a group of community that knows where I'm when this all started and how it had progressed up until now. Honestly speaking, there are people who knows, people who have seen. I was mourning when that happened. I was mourning and people was still attacking. The attacks. Now, people might look at this video and be like, oh, yeah, he's angry. Yeah, yeah. We got something. No, stop being stupid. I decided to speak on this. This is my trust to show you that I've truly healed even from that. I've healed from what I was mourning from, and I've healed from your attacks. It's time to stop. A soft head, a soft, what? A hard head makes a soft ass. It's time to leave me alone. Put me through enough. I've been through enough. Okay. You had your fun. Behind the scenes, some people was laughing. Oh, look what we did. He's homeless. He's running around. He's doing this. He's da 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 da. We did this to him. We did that to them. We break up his relationship. We prevented him from finding true love. We separated him from his kids. We separated from his family. We separated from his friends. We did it. Okay. You did a lot. Now it's peace time. And I would appreciate it if you appreciate the fact that I rose above it. And I am above it. I am way better and stronger now than I was then. And that's because pressure builds diamonds. And I understand. And I understood. And I took a lot of self time together, sitting in darkness, especially in the bathroom. A lot of people think I was just on my phone. No, I wasn't. I was thinking on everything. I was healing. I was just going through that process. I'm better now, to be honest with you. So, having not said all that is just to say that, look, it's time to stop. Okay? If just in case some people get a little itchy, it's time to stop because now the scales is going to be balanced, will be balanced. And also, there's something called instant karma. As soon as you think it, boom, it hits you. It's going to. If you don't see it now, you will. Walk away, let it be. I've survived. I'm happy. I'm peaceful. Okay. Just want to get that out of the way. But anyway, so I was talking about, hey, Grandpa, Mr. Wong, right? Yeah, Mr. Wong. He told me a story, and he was like, he told me a lot of things, by the way, growing up when I was in high school. And he said to me at one time, he was like, when I come home from school, the first thing he used to do is take my book bag and see what I did throughout the day at school. And he always like try to read what I did. If I did math, he go over the math. He read it over if it was English, if it was any other subject, he would go over that on a day-to-day basis as I come home from school, what I did that day. I didn't understand why until one day he said, look, what I'm doing, right, is allowing your memory. Once you went through the process, at the end of the day, it's good to revisit, analyze it, and it'll stick. And that's why I never really had to study that hard to learn. I did pretty well in high school, so to speak. I did pretty well. I did straight sciences, physics, chemistry, bio, math, whatever. Yeah, it was tough, especially physics. Chemistry, I like mixing stuff. But anyway, you might hear me sniffling because I'm still recovering from the flu. But my grandfather told me one time, he said, work your plan. No, he said, plan your work and work your plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's my grandfather. He says things like that. Make you think. Like he said, plan your work, work your plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Like this guy. He's so right. I'm in high school. Okay, like what, 12, 13? Come on now. He's oh boy, yeah, he is he's like that. So this is appreciation for grandpa, you know. So true strength. Yeah. True strength is being that act against it if the but pretty good. Whatever. I just said that. So my grandfather, he said many things. There's something else I wanted to you see, when I get on camera, sometimes I should have wrote it down, but I just came from outside when I thought about it. And now I forget. But he anyway, right? This is appreciation to Mr. Wong. Thank you, sir. If you watch my video, I always know that I always think about you, man. Like for real. I always think about what you used to say and how you helped me. I grew up on the farmland with him and my grandmother also. People like, oh, you don't talk about your grandma. Well, my grandma, I love my grandma too. She's just a little bit different. She wasn't as nice, you know what I mean? My grandfather was firm, but he was cool. Somebody you would want to hang out with and hang with. You know, you always hear him say some white stuff. Excuse me. And then I go to school and pretend like I made it up. Like, yeah, plan your work and work your plan. I tell the whole class. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Class be looking like this guy. Where you come from, bro? Anyway, immovable object, unstoppable force. Immovable object can indeed move if it wants to. If it chooses not to, it'll stay in position. If it wants to, it can. But that's true strength, knowing that you're immovable. Nothing can get you off your high horse, eh? But you move for the betterment of peace, love, prosperity, the greater good. So is the unstoppable force. Shoot, nothing can stop it. However, you could change course. You're not stopping. You just change course in a positive way. That's why we should look at that's true strength. It's easy to go with what's easy. That's not strength, that's weakness. Strength is going, is knowing that this is easy for me to do something bad, but true strength is going against that because it's easy, it's natural for me. Yeah, I could just do this. It's natural. I have the power to. True strength is like, you know what? No, it's not good. It's not worth it. It's for the betterment of everyone. Stop being so selfish. Stop thinking only about yourself. And this is how people get caught up because they think that they should have revenge. They should keep doing things unfairly and unjust and unbalanced to people. I don't care if you're in the justice system or not, or if you're a regular person or if you have a position of high authority, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is what's in here. I respect people for this and this, and to know the difference, when to use it, and why we use it. So, this video is already 31 minutes. And you know what? When I get off here, I'm going to be like, darn it. This is what I wanted to say because I know there's something I wanted to say, but I just can't remember right now. And I tried to write it down, but I was outside. And I should have brought my notepad with. But moral of the story is, right? Lead with love. Lead with respect for yourself and others. Lead with prosperity in mind. The younger generation, the youth. Lead with that. Lead with how would you want the world to be. It's not my job really to change the world, but I want to help. Somebody has to. I'm not saying that I'm the only one either. There's a lot of people out there. But for some strange reason, there are some people that just don't like because I am doing it. Somebody has to. I'm just one of the group that's doing it. Nobody says nothing about nobody else. But, oh, yeah, him. He looks weak. We done things to him in the past. So let's stop him. Um, don't let this fool you, okay? Anyway, I'm more spiritually connected than you think. Like I said, I know something you don't. So people might think, oh, he knows something about me. No, it has nothing to do with you. Actually, it has a lot to do with me. I know something. You don't. And you may never will, because that's something that's for me. Okay? Not that I'm any special or anything than anyone else. We all are special. We all are loved. We all have the abilities to do right. We all have the ability to ascend to greater good, to do right, to love people. We all have the ability to uphold justice and the law. When you go against that, out of selfishness, out of greed, out of envy, out of all that, whatever you put out is coming right back. Just remember, whether I'm here or not, universal law might be worse. I'm not here. Think about it. You might want to keep me around. Anyway, spread love, spread peace, spread prosperity. I know I look a little bit rough, right? A girl told me one time, like, you should grow your beard. You look kind of cute with a little beard and it's shaped up and all that. Like, nah, nah, this is enough. This is enough, damn it. You can't please everybody. That's another thing. You can't please everybody. Some people, like, I don't know. They want you to be tall. They want you to be short. They want you to be fat. They want you to be skinny. They want you to be muscular. They want you to talk this way and walk that way and da da da. Look, I am me. Accept me for me. I really don't care what you want when it comes to how I am. Yes, there are improvements, and I take constructive criticisms, by the way. That's different. Was a part of what you want, your perception of what. Go find that person. Stop looking at me trying to change what I am or who I am. I'm happy with me. I love me, okay? You love you? That's a good question. Not a question. No, I'm not going to stay much longer. Not a question. I did this in a relationship once, right? And this could go for people who decide to 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 bring other people down or send negative energies and stuff like that, right? I was in a relationship once in Florida when I was dating, and after a while, the girl that I was dating, and I'm not perfect, so I'm just, you know, she always want to be, oh, you should do this, you should do that, da, 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 dee, da, 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 da. You know those type of people, right? And even when you change, they still don't feel satisfied. Those type of people. One day, she got to the point where I'm like, let me ask you a question, because she was arguing all day, all day. I was like, yo, let me ask you a question, right? Based on what you're doing now and how you're projecting yourself, would you date you? That stopped her in her tracks. Like she was stuck. She was thinking, would she date her based on what she is doing right now? Would you date you? So why you expect me to date you and love you when you wouldn't even do that for yourself? Think about it. Something, maybe your attitude, maybe your perception of life, maybe how you go about doing things. Maybe we have two separate moral compasses. Maybe mine is pointing north, yours pointing south. It won't work. Instead of complaining, look in the mirror, improve, grow. I had to do it, and I'm still doing it. I'm still working on myself to be better, And I love you guys. I love you guys. I want to see, I wish you guys well. I want to see people start improving, growing, and have better perceptions of life, thinking better and treating others better, treat yourself better. That would make me happy. Not that if you choose not to, well, that's out of my control. Anyway, love you guys. An immovable object. What happens when met by an unstoppable force? Peace. I'm out.